Okay, so I'm out on my walk and I am, let's see, hold on. No, sorry. I'm out on my walk and I am a mile and a quarter in. So since I'm in this part of the neighborhood, I thought I'd go ahead and share this story with you, and it's really sad and it's true crime and it's awful horrible. But do you guys remember the Bever family? Two brothers stabbed and killed their parents and their siblings. Killed the whole family, I think, except one of the little girls survived, maybe two. Anyway, that was in my neighborhood several years back. I think it happened just a few years before Shane and I bought our house. And as a matter of fact, when the realtor was showing us around, she's like, "This is where the murders happened. Are you guys sure you're okay being this close to it?" And we're like, "Yeah, I mean, it's horrible and awful, but it's not going to stop my life, right?" So anyway, if you've never heard of the Bever brothers who murdered their family, you can Google it. It's on podcasts, it's on YouTube. But I'm gonna show you everything backwards. So I'm going down these steps right here, which leads to the park, to where they ran from the police and they hid. So I'm gonna turn you around and show you. So this is a little park. So I came down from the cul-de-sac on these stairs. And you can Google Bever Brothers, Indian Springs, Broken Arrow, and get the whole story. It's horrible, like brutal, scary movie brutal. Like they killed them all, stabbed them to death, even the dad, the mom, all of them. So this is a little park that's in the neighborhood. And all this green right here, this is where they hid. So I'm gonna take you guys up and through there, and that's where they lived. I'll show you. But this is all muddy. But all this green belt back here, shoes are gonna get wet. So they ran from there. They were running from the police, and they went back in here. Take my sunglasses off. Ooh, I don't want to go in there because there's poison ivy, but there's, well, I guess I can stay away from it. But this is the path. They ran back here, and they're just hiding. You know, they were running and hiding from the police, and this path just goes way back. This is the green belt of my neighborhood. So it's really beautiful back here, but this is where the kids ran from the police, and it goes on and on and on. And I don't know how deep they got back before they got caught. I don't think they got any farther than right here. So let's go back out of here, mainly because I don't want to get poison ivy. So I'm gonna come back out here. This is the park, and I think you guys have been to this park with me before. It's just a little playground. And so we're gonna walk this way. So the Broken Arrow police got them, and now they're in jail for life. But there's a whole big story, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard the story. But I'm gonna turn you back around. And I've been down here many times. You guys have been down here, but I've never told the story because I just never thought it was an appropriate time. So they ran down this path to the park and back into the woods over there, and I came down from up there. So the house that they lived in burnt down. When we moved here, the house was still standing right here. The house was still standing, and it was a great big Amityville looking creepy house, but it stood right here. And when Shane and I moved into the neighborhood, they still had all the yellow caution tape around it. They were still investigating, so that's how soon after we moved in. But anyway, the house stood here for a couple years after. It took up this whole lot. The house stood here for a couple years after the murders, and then one day in the news it had just burnt down. I think our neighborhood finally got tired of it, maybe, and it It was arsenic, and nobody bothered to investigate it. The house burned down, and that was the end of it. But since then, they've the park. You can see where the house was here. The boys ran that way. But they have since built this pretty memorial park and turned something awful into something pretty. And this is it. You guys might recognize it because I brought you here. And this is about a mile from my house, so I'm walking back home. But they put up this pretty little gazebo and planted flowers and trees and made a little garden. Let's see what this sign says. Reflection Park. And those are all the people that donated to Reflection Park, all the businesses. And it's a really, really sad story. But anyway, that's it. That's where the house used to be. How do I get home? I go this way. Anyway, it's awful. That's really all I have to say about that. You can Google it and you'll see the boys, you know, their images, and you can read the news stories, and I'm sure there's a million YouTube stories on it. But it's horrible, awful. But that's what happened. Okay, I love you guys. The Lord loves you more. See you in the next video.